that have been happening. As you know, you got to get used to change, right? Those kind of things. But we want to bring you guys up to date on those things. So over the last 6 months, we've just continued to pray about the mission and vision of our church and where we're headed. You guys should all know our mission. Our mission is to help everyday people become passionate followers of Jesus Christ. It's about Jesus, all right? We need to proclaim the name of Jesus everywhere we go, all right? If somebody asks you, what's your church about? It's about Jesus, making him known, all right? That's what our church is about, helping everyday people become passionate followers of Jesus Christ. Now, as we do that, there's a preferred future that we see. As we help people become passionate followers of Jesus Christ, we have a vision that God has made clear to us, and that vision is homes of faith. Right? As you live out your life for Jesus, the place where you live will be a place of faith. It doesn't have to be a place that you own. You don't have to own your home, all right? It doesn't have to have kids in your home, all right? Your home doesn't have to have, these things that we think about, all right? But your home will be a home of faith, a home where, this is kind of the unique vision for our church, we desire that your home is leading another home to Christ. For our church, it's not all about an attractional thing, okay? We want people to come Sunday morning, yes, but we want to empower you to do ministry in your neighborhood, all right? And so that's why we talk about that we want your home to be a place where Jesus is known and seen in your neighborhood, community, in the world. That's our hope. That's what we desire to see happening in every single one of our homes. And once again, it's a home you don't have to own. You don't have to own it. It doesn't have to be a big home. It doesn't have to have kids in it. A home is just wherever you are. All right, so what does this look like? We've talked about this before. We have some really cool visuals, though, now. So we thought we should show you some of these visuals, right? All right, so what does it look like to be a home of faith? Well, we all start in similar places, right? We all start without Jesus. We all start in places where we want to be safe, right? We want to be isolated. You just watch your neighbor. They come in, they pull up the driveway, they shut the garage door down, and they go into their home and they stay private, right? Okay, we like to be isolated. It's kind of nice, right? It's nice to kind of do your own thing and be about you, right? And that's kind of the natural bent. And so our natural bent is to be safe, make sure everyone's safe, to be isolated, to be complacent. Honestly, we just like to live easy lives. Let's just be flat out honest, right? Who likes to be challenged? I don't like to be. I'd rather just sit on a couch and watch a Bulls game all day, right? All right? And we want to be comfortable, all right? We want to be comfortable. And then we meet Jesus. And all of a sudden, these things begin to break up. All of a sudden, the layers of skin get pulled away because we meet Jesus, and Jesus changes everything. And we begin to realize that what Jesus calls us to is a life of adventure, a life of community, a life of commitment, and a life of compassion. All right, so you see the cross in the middle, and Jesus calling us to these different areas of commitment for him. And we desire for your home to be a place where there's an adventure. We desire your home to be a place that is committed, that your home is a community, that your home is a place where people are serving in compassion and those kinds of things. So as we begin to put all these things together, Jesus calls us to a life where we are leaving safety for adventure. All right, as we leave safety for adventure, we're going to be following. And, skip to the next slide. All right, as we leave safety for adventure, we're going to be following. As we leave isolation for community, we're going to be growing. And here's the change that we've really been thinking a lot about and being challenged about, and the staff has talked a ton about, and the elders have talked a lot about. Some of you may have missed one of these pillars. You guys, what's the pillar that is no longer there? Do you guys remember it? Leaving greed for generosity. And as we kind of talked through this as a staff, as we prayed through this even as elders, we really thought leaving comfort for compassion and leaving greed for generosity were pretty similar. You could, there's some differences, but they were pretty similar. But we really felt like we were missing a pillar. We really felt like we were missing something that just simply takes you deeper in your commitment with God, right? I mean, there's times in life where you're just at a place where you're like, I just got to know more about who God is. Jesus wants us to worship him in spirit and in truth. And so we really felt we needed a pillar. We wanted each and every home to have that piece of it. And so what we've done is we've taken out greed for generosity, and we've brought in leaving complacency for commitment. All right? And so we want your home to be that. Leaving safety for adventure, leaving isolation for community, leaving complacency for commitment, which will lead us to be serving, and then finally leaving comfort for compassion, which will lead us to be multiplying out in our lives. And we just want to keep this, in front of you guys and how we're doing it. And we want to make sure that we continue to realize that our homes are the places of ministry can happen. Where your home can be a place where you can invite your neighbor over and they can come and put their faith in Jesus. And our heart and desire is to see your home to be a place like that. Now, we're going to go a little bit deeper as well tonight, all right? You're pretty familiar with this. I don't think I'm going to have anybody go, right? Some of you are even bored and you're like, please get me to the Bulls game. Okay, but we want to take it a little bit deeper now. All right, we want to talk to you a little bit more about our strategy. All right, we're going to begin implementing this now into our church, probably in the fall of 2011 and then going in. I will tell you this, I don't want to take it fast. All right, I don't want to become a programmatic church. I don't want to become a church where all of a sudden, you got to do all these classes and all these electives, and all of a sudden we think, if I do a class, I'm going to have a home of faith. And if I just get through this, if I get through this cycle, all is going to be okay. That's just not true. All right? But we also realize that we need things to grab hold of. We need things that we can go, what is it to leave safety for adventure on? What does that mean? What does that look like biblically? What does that look like experientially in my home? And so we're going to begin to implement these things in our church. And honestly, this is why, as God begins to expand this vision that we have, we need more and more people on board. This is the reasons why we need to hire Ben. We need to have him part of the team because we need help to make these things happen. All right, so here's our strategy and where we're headed. What our heart is that in each one of these sections, we begin to have an elective. So yes, a class that you can go and learn and get deeper in, but as well as an experience. All right? You need to experience it. Don't think you can go to a class, show up, and be done. All right? So, if we look at leaving safety for adventure, we've done this elective before called The Stranger. It's introducing people to Jesus. All right? It's having them see who Jesus is from the Old Testament all the way to the New Testament. All right? And you begin, as you look at who Jesus is, you realize that it is not, you have to leave safety for adventure. There's not an option. And that's what we want you to encounter in that class. We want you to encounter the fact that Jesus is worth following to. Now there's experiences, and these are some experiences that we've done previously, because once again, not everything's going to be all new. We're really building homes of faith already. But some experiences, like a biker blessing, all right? An experience of putting your faith in Jesus. Another experience of leading someone to Jesus, right? Those are experiences. You can't find that in a class. You got to take what you know, and you got to do that. And then what we want to do is we continue to progress down this level. We want to begin to create a family elective and a family experience, all right? But remember, our vision is not building families, it's building homes, all right? But a family certainly can be within a home. So we want to begin as well to bring in a family and elective and a family experience. So a family elective for leaving safety for adventure would be something like, how do you lead your child to Christ? What is that like? What do I do? How do I do that? We'll have some people that will teach that class of kind of giving insights of how to lead your child to Christ. And then we want to give a family experience, right? Have your neighbor over for dinner. Have your kids experience that. Have them over for dinner. I mean, that would be an adventure, right? I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't either. What's God going to do? We have no idea. What are they going to say? I have no idea. What's their life going to be like? I have no idea. Let's go on this adventure, kids. Let's do it together. Let's leave safety for adventure. That's what God calls us to. All right? Now, part of me is like, until you experience that, you can't take the elective. I don't know how stringent I'm going to be. But all I know is we can't be a programmatic church. Don't just think you can go to a class and you're okay. You've got to experience life on life ministry. All right? And then each one of these things. Leaving isolation for community, I'll go through these more quickly. Elective, some things we're already doing, filling out the sermon-based small group questions. How many of you actually do that? Okay? Actually do that. Okay? Actually fill out the sermon-based small group questions. That's how you leave isolation for community. All right? Experience. Get involved in a small group. Do it. You're leaving isolation for community when you do that. Family elective. How to lead a family Bible study. How do you do that? Family experience. Go camping together. That'll bring you together, right? Right, Ungers? You guys know that well, right? All right. Leaving complacency for commitment. Elective. Something like the Truth Project that we've just done with Rick Whitehead teaching that. That's gonna take you deeper in your faith, right? It's going to learn how to defend your faith. Learn the truth. So elective would be the Truth Project. It could be a woman's Bible study. It could be living a life of significance. It could be these kind of things. An experience, a spiritual retreat. Have you just ever been on a spiritual retreat? If you're just taking a couple days and just gone on a spiritual retreat, just gone to encounter God. All right? Family elective, how to help your kids get alone with God. Family experience, share God stories at the dinner table, right? Doing those kind of things, giving ideas more and more as we continue to flesh these kind of things out. Leaving comfort for compassion. Elective, how you spend your money. Experience, go on a monthly compassion experience. I mean, every month now we have these experiences that we can do. Family elective, something like you are the hands and the feet of Jesus. Family experience, go on good works together as a family. Those kind of things. Now, what I want you to know is we are doing our best to try to continue to make these things more and more clear as we go down the pathway. We do want you to know that the family experience and the family elective is most likely going to happen in 2012 rather than in 2011. And the reason is that you need to go through it first. You will lead your children as you walk with God. It doesn't start with your kids, it starts with you and your commitment to God. There it begins to flow down, and from there it continues to go on. All right, so those are some of the things that we're excited about. Those are some things that we just want to talk to you about tonight that we're beginning to kind of get some gription. Gription? It's getting late. Getting some grip to our mission and vision and what we're doing. So, all right. Our hope, honestly, is that as we live our lives for Christ, that He is gonna bring revival in our area. That He is gonna do something in our church and in the neighborhoods that we live that is gonna blow our minds away. God can do it. And I believe this. This church is an amazing church. God has brought us together to do something that is beyond what we could do alone. And let's do it. Let's do all we can to advance the kingdom of God, to make him known, and to have him be seen in our lives. Tonight, I want to share that with you. I want to share the finances with you. I want to share that vision with you. And because we believe that Ben needs to be on the team to begin to implement and make these things happen for our church. We believe he's going to help us do that.